Well, good evening, everyone. Randy here. It's been a while since we got together, and oh, how much has been going on since we last chatted. I have cut probably five or six little videos, and Ribby has said we might want to look at them again. Things have. This is an ever evolving little journey, and I'm having a wonderful time doing it. But I just got off a call. I wasn't going to do one of these tonight. I could not do one after this call, and this is a guy that helps me a whole lot. And I've had a lot of calls today. And Troy, I'm not talking about you, because I just got off the phone with Troy. But I was talking to someone earlier today, and he asked me what I'm doing, what all this stuff I'm talking about, and I laid the truth out to him. I said, "Let me tell you, I've been involved with network marketing for a long time. I would say sporadically for a long time, but very in depth with it. Just really, I'm intrigued with the whole dynamic because word of mouth and that type of advertising is what we need to save this planet. It turns out, and anything that will help expedite people making a lot of friends is together and kind of all thinking about the same thing I'm all about. And networking is something that can accomplish that very in the most efficient manner, especially nowadays. I'm looking for something here that was going to support this chat I had with this guy that about blew my top. I'm trying my very best to explain to you and to everyone else the truth. It's just like going to, oh, something that you've always been doing and you've been paying or contributing to something, and then you learn from someone who actually makes them or something like that, the real working natures of all that. And that's what I'm trying to do. And I came back into this industry because I'm passionate about hemp. And so that's my passion. Do not confuse the two. You can see the hemp thing going on back here. And there is, and everyone knows I'm involved with Canaway. Don't get confused with what I'm going to be telling you about here, because it has nothing to do with those things, or if you're with Navera or Mary Kay, whatever it may be, it doesn't make any difference to me. That's not what I'm talking to you about. Although the whole thing is intertwined with that, because in those type of dynamics, like the one I'm involved with, Canaway, I'm a national marketing director. Whatever that actually means. It's 26-page comp plan, and I have to go check, and so I will maybe, and a bunch of placement and stuff I need to do. A lot of things I need to do. That's a real thing that you've got to pay a lot of attention to. Don't turn this way, and for God's sake, don't say anything wrong. And that's hard for me to do. I hope I didn't break something in there. And so, after coming back in with the passion, I'm going to support Canaway because of the great things that they're doing and the ground that they're breaking, softening the minds of the sheeple out there, that we're not limited just to think the way that they tell us to. The minds are being opened up to the possibilities because of cannabis. Let's get real, that it is more than just what has been portrayed about it being as a demon. Now, see how I'm getting off into my passion? And what we need to do is understand to separate the two. Just like I was telling the guy on the phone today, is asking me what I was doing. I said, let me tell you. And I'd go off into it. I said, none of this actually needs to take place. And he said, what? And I started saying that unless you have something, you have to separate your passion from if you want to make profit. You have to do that. And I said, when you enter into a marketing structure that is tiered structure, and you come into a corporation or circle, square, whatever you want to do, call it, when you come into that and you're under the fervor of all this, that you're hearing about the company and it being tiered marketing, then a relationship, whatever you want to call it, rose being they've still a rose, you know what I'm talking about. And so you come into your group, you're hearing the wonders of the product, which the product, I'm telling you, its timing is now. with the derivatives on the medical side of hemp is off, and there's my passion again. I'm off into my passion. So that's what pulls me toward things that are involved with my passion, and I'd also like to derive a revenue from that. So we look around for something that might fit my passion, and I also can derive a revenue. And you find something, and whatever your passions may be, mine's hemp. But when you go into a company that has something in line with your passion, be it hemp or otherwise, and you go into that company, you're actually taking on top of your head right now, you're the very only person standing in your corporation. It's up to you to build that corporation. You're going to get a lot of help, powerful tools, the one I'm involved with, Canaway, all the tools, and a lot of support to do that. But understand, you are the only one in your corporation that day. There's fancy things like placement and all that, but you're the only one that first moment. It's just you and the walls. And so now it's up to you to build that. That's with anything, period, that you're going to do that's going to be your own world. How else could it be? So when people do that, and then they also take on, when they're in that group or whatever it is, they have accepted and they take on as an understanding the pay structure, how you're going to derive your revenue to fund your passion and what have you. You've just accepted all that, whether you understand it or not. And that's not unique to any one company. That's the way it is predominantly. I've never hardly seen anybody that reads could write a book on the comp plans, which that's what it would be doing, of most of these companies. It's just, they're just too intricate. They have too many moving parts, especially one designed like Canaway that has long-term goals. They're going to have moving parts that a racehorse, just for a sprint, wouldn't have. So you have to understand that, but you've taken on that structure. You're there. And what I'm looking at is I was talking to this guy and I said, here's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to show people that, number one, if you're looking for profit and you're not in the passion, that's caught up in the hemp and what have you, you're just looking for profit and how to hold on to it. Because you get involved in a lot of crazy things. I mean, anything comes, the wind blows and you're off doing another network deal, whatever it may be. But you need a cash flow to support your MLM or your peer-to-peer, your whatever it is, need to feed that monkey. It's true, and you know it. But boy, we're fired up. Especially, it's wonderful those first few months, and then that everything's. But there's no need to really have to go through any of that. Think about it. What are we monetizing? We're monetizing our friendships. Our friendships. You've heard me say, and everybody say, the most valuable commodity that you can have, bar none, in this world, short of the connection you have with the divine, your family, your close ones, and the quality of relationships that you have with your friends, like I'm trying to be with you. You're my greatest commodity. All those people that are part of the NFL club, if you've been around long enough to know what the NFL club, there's no friends left because of networking. What if every single one of those people that are now in your NFL club never ever left you? They were all happy, glad to see you at Thanksgiving and all the events. You're invited to everything. Every single one of them, through all the crazy things that you've done, they would still be in your core group that was immune from all of our craziness. You've monetized your friends and your lifestyle. I've wondered why I have come back into this quagmire that I love so dearly, because I love numbers. I love numbers. Like digital clocks, they just blow me away. I can't have one in the same room with. I can't sleep with one. I'll find it and I'll start looking at it. Like 11:14. Does that bother anybody, that number? 11:14. You don't see it, do you? You don't see it, do you? The first number is a 1, the last number is a 4. It's 11:14 right now. First number is a 1. What time? Oh, this one's 11:20. That I need to fix that. The first one is a 1. The last one's a 4. If you raise those up, that's 14. The only ones left standing is another 14. Y'all didn't see that? My wife has got her hands full. So you see, I love things like that. I love to study cyclical patterns. You know, I get off into these things, and what my quest was here now is to bring this back. I know how they work, people. I know how these things work. If you've ever got involved with one, they all had to start somewhere like this in someone's mind on a piece of paper. Computers didn't just come up with it. They got basic models for them, but something cutting edge, it's got to come from up here, because you have to mold the things that you've learned, the things that you've seen, into the ultimate. I got her sitting right here. And I want to give that to people who are wanting to make friends and not lose them. People that will invest in those friendships, and they'll do that on a monthly basis. People that will promise to contact all their friends, as many as they can, at least 3 times a week. And share with people, you know, of all the crazy deals that they've got off into. A lot of them will be probably draining their little nest egg down the, you know, the friendship nest egg, so to speak, but they're happy because they got the lights on. And there won't be a big rift if a bunch of people run off, do something, someone stole someone's leads, or someone crossed this line or cross-lined or whatever. There won't be any of that. And if there was, you'd always know that you still are together in your base down here in your friendship. We're smart enough that we can do that, can't we, people? This doesn't cross the line of someone trying to compete with another deal, does it, people? How many deals have you been involved with that, oh, so great was the start, and believe you me, my heart is all with the one I'm with to get through that, to eclipse that hill that so many don't make. But they sure was nice starting out. Wouldn't it be nice to, if you have that addiction, that you had a base? But more importantly than that, wouldn't it be nice not to have lost contact with old Bobby Sue? Or maybe old Jedi or Randy. Quite lofty. How would you pull said thing off? Jedi 1. Well, first thing I would do is recognize from experience, and what a lot of people are starting to become aware of, is that you got to keep the cost of whatever you're going to attach this wonderful vehicle to that doesn't have a high delivery cost, and it can be instant. And you have to have a means to compensate the people that join, because it's going to be that foundation, that continuous river that will always flow if you are always in the river. Pretty simple. And what if you was to be able to say that all you had to do to explain how this worked is say that let's just say here you bring someone in, you get 100% of whatever that number is that y'all all got together and figured out what the raw cost of this thing is. Second person 50% of that. Someone else gets 50. Don't even worry about that. Third, you get 75, and third 75 from then on. And that same thing repeats itself to infinity. Can write that up on the top of a 8.5 by 11. And by the way, compensation would be instant. Interesting, isn't it? I've been thinking about this. If y'all would like to hear a little bit more about this, you can get a hold of myself. I'm on Facebook, Randy Matthews on Facebook, and I don't do any of the others, but Ribby Scotty does over on she's gonna kill me. I did this to her last night too, but I didn't run the videos. So Ribby, I didn't do that to you last night, but I'm doing it now. And by the way, this is what we're up on YouTube and privately. But if you understand what I'm saying here to you, this is one that doesn't ever go away until we do. Product will never, or the whole thing will never go away. Period. Will never be influenced by anything else, and thus in turn your friendships would all be bound and growing. Can you imagine the power of this? Power can be increased once you understand what the product would be. We have an opportunity here. You can wake up and smell the roses, and once you understand that you can take this, what you're doing now is you're creating relationships, and you can cause that to fund anything that you're currently doing. And if whatever you're doing out there doesn't make it, or you can't make it because you've accepted the way of that structure and it's just not making things work, whatever your decision process is, you would still be in the river. The river could give you a ride down to the next port. You go out and do a little hunting around there, see if something comes up. Still got the river that gets you your little apartment there on the beach, and things work out great. The river's always going to be there building. Next time you go, it's a bigger, nicer boat and everything out on the river. Love to go down by the river. Get hold of Ribby Scott. We're fixing to make some real fast moves toward this. If you want to ride this and be with us, this is lifelong, people, and I'm talking about I'd love to have you as a friend. This is Jedi One, aka Randy to some. We down. I hit the wrong button. I think we're gone now. Just pull back on that throttle. Easy now. Here we go.